Okay, so I'm here just to talk a little bit about traineeships, which is another option to people who are leaving school. So you've probably heard before a lot about apprenticeships, but possibly not as much about traineeships. So a traineeship is kind of a stepping stone to an apprenticeship. It's the pre-programme. It gives young people a taster into the world of work, let's just say. And we do traineeships in all different sectors you can think of. So ultimately, it's a work experience program. So you're coming out of school, you kind of think that you might want to work in maybe a hospitality kind of industry. You've got no work experience and you want to go try it. So what we do as a company is we find work placements for young people. If accepted onto it, you would then go do 8 weeks work experience within a business. So you will be learned everything within that business as working alongside paid employees. It is an unpaid program, so it is classed as work experience. It is classed as education. So whilst you were in that setting, you would be given a tutor who would come out and do weekly visits, or pre-COVID they did, it could be remote at the moment, and kind of deliver lots of learning based on the sector that you are in. So if it's kind of a hospitality placement, etc., then we might do a food hygiene course with you alongside it, customer service skills, etc. Now, the good thing about our traineeships is that we will only work with employers that have a vacancy available. So we would only work with employers who maybe have an apprenticeship to offer. And then it's kind of down to you on the traineeship to prove yourself within that business. So at the end of the 8 weeks that placement that you're on, that they would then offer, because you've worked really hard, they would then offer that apprenticeship. So it's a different route into a business. So yes, you can go out and apply for apprenticeships, which is fantastic, and go straight into paid work. But even apprenticeships, you have to go through the whole interview process. You know, and so if you're struggling to kind of get onto an apprenticeship straight away, a traineeship is a really good starting point, because we kind of bypass the interview process. The 8 weeks becomes your 8-week working interview, so to speak, and gives you a chance to get in front of an employer and prove yourselves within that 8 week. So on my screen, I don't have a fancy PowerPoint like the last person, but I do have a learner fact sheet, which explains exactly what one is. So a traineeship, a government-funded programme that prepares you for your future career, helping you to get ready for the world of work and improve your chances of getting an apprenticeship or other job. So what it says, so on here where it says 7 to 12 weeks, we've capped that now. So all hours are 8 weeks. And we used to do different lengths of programmes depending on people's ages, etc. But we've within COVID now, we've capped everything, so they are all 8-week programs. So traineeships are work preparation training. So like I was saying before, it kind of gives you a chance to get into a business and learn the ropes, so to speak, giving you that confidence to kind of take your first step in that career alongside the work experience. So when you're in that placement, you would do 37.5 hours a week within that placement. So it is pretty much what we would class as full-time work. If it's kind of a hospitality industry, there will be weekends involved, because what we want to do is set you up for what's going to happen once you get onto an apprenticeship. And obviously in that kind of industry, weekend work is where they are at their busiest. I am struggling to scroll down on this for some reason. Oh, there we go. I found a button that works. I hope you can all see that moving. So alongside your work experience, I kind of said before that you'd get a tutor. So that tutor would do weekly contact visits with you. They will deliver employability skills. So they will deliver skills that will help you out in terms of interview skills, team working skills, sector specific skills like customer service, dependent on the placement that you're in, and maths and English. So that maths and English, if you didn't get a GCSE 4 and above within your GCSEs, we would deliver a functional skill alongside the traineeship for that 8 weeks, which would then carry over into your apprenticeship. So the benefits of a traineeship then. So a traineeship puts you in a better position to compete for an apprenticeship or secure another job, because you're getting that full 8 weeks work experience that other people going for apprenticeships and things wouldn't have. But again, the real benefit to doing a traineeship with us is that, you know, if you come on board with us, we know there's an apprenticeship available in that business. And when we talk to employers, they are very much aware that that traineeship that we put in should lead to an apprenticeship if they've done very well. So yes, it's about work experience, but it's about working your way on that work experience to securing a job in the business. It gives you the opportunity to build your CV and get vital experience with local and national employers. So we have lots of big companies that come on board with us that are national, places like Matalan and Specsavers, but we also have very small businesses as well that are quite local. So what we do is we kind of do the chat initially with the learner, find out what they want to do, and we would go find a business specifically for you. So we would look within your local area and find a business that you are interested in and that is willing to take you. Employers are at the centre of traineeships to ensure that they give you the skills you need to secure a job and succeed in employment. So once you are in that placement, there will be a plan in place with that employer and mentor that is working aside you of what you are going to learn in those 8 weeks. At the end of the work experience placement, you'll get a guaranteed job interview within that company. And like I said before, for an apprenticeship or job in that business itself. So will I get paid? So although work placements are unpaid, we do support with expenses. So we would give you a bus pass, train pass, whatever it is that you need to get to the placement. And if we need to get any items of clothing that are specific to the placement you're working at, so if we need to get chef whites because it's a hospitality industry, then that is what we will do. So there's a little bit here, is a traineeship right for me? So traineeship's an ideal opportunity for young people who are motivated to get a job but may lack the skills and experience at the moment that employers are looking for. So you might end up applying for apprenticeships, but actually it's lack of experience, because even though it's an apprenticeship vacancy, it might be that that employer is still looking for that little bit of experience within somebody. And that's what this kind of bridges the gap with. So if you've been unsuccessfully applying for apprenticeships, then the traineeship route could be for you. So the kind of eligibility criteria based around traineeship. So must be unemployed or work less than 16 hours a week. So if you've got a weekend job, a Saturday job, absolutely brilliant, you can still do this. You must be motivated to work. So it has to be something that you want to do. You know, you want to progress, you want to get onto the career ladder, etc. And you must be qualified below a level 3. Don't get that confused with like the 3 that you would get for a GCSE, because it means level 3 as in, you know, you've done a BTEC level 3 or an MVQ level 3. You can have a 3, but nothing higher. And then underneath a little bit about who's not eligible, so which probably won't apply to any of you, but because traineeships are only for 16 to 24-year-olds, anybody that already has a full-time job. Again, this qualified at level 3 or above, it is level 4 or above now. That needs changing slightly because since we've gone into COVID, the government have kind of changed it and said anybody with a level 3 can do a traineeship. So we kind of do traineeships in a variety of businesses. I think the one we're kind of talking about today is more the hospitality industry, I believe, food and drink, that kind of thing. So we will be looking at placements like restaurants, anything that's like a hospitality kind of place that serves food, maybe serves drink, etc. You might have a real flair and passion to be a budding chef. Then that is the kind of placement that we would put you in. If anybody is kind of interested in doing this, we can kind of get the link out to you all. Myself, my email address, or there is an email address on the bottom of this, which is qubelearning.co.uk/traineeships, where you can register your interest.